all it takes is somebody with a little bit of charisma to deceive. And there are a lot of people out there listening to, whether they're raw food people or whether they're whoever they are, they're listening to them and they're getting themselves in trouble. I could sit here with the right attitude and say, well, there's a new bubble gum now, this green wheatgrass bubble gum. You blow a bubble, it gives you a burst of oxygen, it's really great. And I guarantee you, some of you will buy that. That's what people do. Water? I mean, there are people selling raw water. People are buying it. I mean, I'm glad we're smart enough to know that there are certain things that you... What about this one? Organic cigarettes. I mean, I'm glad we're smart enough to know this. What about this one? Healthy coffee. It's an oxymoron. What about this one? Healthy chocolate. It's an oxymoron. You look at the animals of nature, what they do is they take the cacao fruit, which has tremendous amount of antioxidants. It's a wonderful fruit. They eat the fruit and they spit out the toxic seeds. And here comes Mr. American man picking up the seeds, putting them in a bag and selling them to people that don't know that those seeds are loaded with caffeine and other issues that create more toxics in the body than anything else. You know, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what any of these people say. It's simple. It's not difficult. Our Creator has a plan. Follow my plan. For me, when I stick to His plan, I'm doing good. If I get off His plan, things don't work out too well. You have to love His word more than you love the taste of that junk food, or the amount of food you're eating, or how long you're eating it for. But what part of His plan says you can't pick and choose. You know, who like to pick and choose? No, you know, here's my plan. It's an all or none plan. You can't pick or choose. And people look at the Ten Commandments and say, well, I'll take 1, 6, and 7, and 9. The other ones somebody else could have. This isn't bingo. This is His word. But that's what people are doing. Genesis 1:29, the food for men is fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seed. What does it say in Psalm that says, or Proverbs, do not dine with drunkards or feast with gluttons? This is why I eat by myself most of the time. Do not dine with drunkards or feast with gluttons. Because we become, out of habit, do what people around us do. So we got to realize this. We want to be set apart, right? So when it comes to diet and health, it's not difficult to eat oranges and apples and bananas. People say, well, what about my children? Can my children eat that way? Well, what else would you feed your children? They're feeding their children McDonald's and steaks and chickens and all this other garbage, and they say, can my kids just eat fruits and vegetables? That's how disconnected we've got with our Creator's plan. And somebody says, well, how could I get my kids to eat healthy? Hello, whose kids are they? Who's feeding them? But they won't eat. Yes, they'll eat. Look, if you give me a cookie, if I cry and you give me a cookie, I'm not going to want broccoli either. But if you say, well, don't eat this, one lady actually said, my kids went on strike. I said, oh, really? And she said, yeah. But she stuck to her gun. She said, well, I tell them they can go as long as they want in their hunger strike. They didn't last till dinner. And they ate what she put in front of the plate. You know, but you know, we've gotten so away from what he told us to do and how to do it. And when you start eating, when you start living according to His plan, and people start calling you crazy, or legalistic, or set apart, well, no, set apart is holy, and take that as a compliment. But when you fit into society, when you look like them, when you suffer from the same diseases as them, what's that doing for us? So it's time we did something about it, and we started realizing we got to get serious. Here's the problem. There are many people that tell me the end times are here and they're upon us now, and it's not too long before our wonderful Messiah comes back. Do I believe that? I'll tell you one thing. If I was as sure about that as other people, I'd be eating pizza right now. I wouldn't be worrying about getting cancer in 20 years from now. Maybe that's going to happen, maybe not. It looks like it's going to happen, but you know what? The generation in the scriptures looked like it was going to happen then. Looked like it was going to happen in previous generations. I'm getting ready for that. And that glorious day is wonderful. But we got to take care of ourselves now. We can't let everything ride on that. We got to be prepared. We got to prepare our children. We got to feed them healthy. Action speaks louder than words. We got to do something about it. Without saying a word, what you're eating is a vote and also a message. You know, how far are you willing to go to reach your goals? Why do we struggle with these things, and what are we truly struggling with? Is it a lack of faith? I don't think so, because I know a lot of people that are faithful to the degree of their knowledge. But my friend said it earlier today. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect different results. We got to start looking what the scriptures say. We need the heart of Job. The heart of Job says, you know, and there's one word that was so important about that. You know, I esteem the word of his mouth more than my, and here's the word, necessary food. That means his words are more important than my life. My necessary food. You know, and he's the one that feeds us. He's the one that gives us the food.